right, I'm going to whisper. Got the little one in the lab with me. She's asleep, but we're going to have to get this thing going one way or another. Here's a play of number 25, Xavier Woods. He did a great job of filling on this play. You're going to see him field a lot. He caused a fumble. He had 11 tackles and 1 forced fumble, and he flew out to the ball. And that's what we want to see. His ability to crash and come down is everything, guys. And I know that, for safety to have 11 tackles, it's kind of like an indictment on the front four. We really want that front four, the first level of the defense, to create more pressure, get to the quarterback. But I'm going to give this defense a pass because I didn't see all offseason Tyron Crawford practice. I didn't see all offseason D-Law practice. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, on this play, he saved a touchdown. Shoot those gaps and shoot that gap and prevent the runner. It's just a miscue by number 96 to get all upset. But I want my guy, defensive back, safety, to shoot. He should not hesitate. You should fill that hole. It's like a filler. When you have a cavity, you want to get rid of the pain. You want somebody to shoot the gap. You don't want him second guessing. Don't worry. He crashed down like no other. I like what I'm seeing out of number 25. He did a fantastic job just filling the gaps and creating pressure when he's there. And just doing the right necessary things. Remember, the safety is the last line of defense. And I'm quite sure if he does not get here, that's 7 points on the board. It's momentum. That's a lot of things that goes into play. And watch how he's able to fill and also cover range. And my guy, Woozier, he loses this battle. Remember, either he should have jammed a little harder. He opened up his hands and I don't know what he was doing out there. You want to be able, with your redirect, if you're going to jam at the line right here, you got to jam. You can't play with it. But I like the physicality, and I love the fact that number 25 was able to get to that edge and stop this touchdown. That's something remarkable. And a lot of people will not understand that this is why you got to have good safety play. Because if not, that's 7 points on the board. That's a huge pass. That's giving up your whole mortgage type of deal. And that's what Xavier Woods did on several times. Remember, this would have been like a shootout if you removed this guy off the field. That's crazy, huh? and a lot of people will dog the safety play, but being able to come down and secure the last line of defense. Not all safeties can do this. Promise you, not all safeties can actually do this. Sometimes they'll try to lean in with their shoulder, not wrapping, not fully wrapping, these sorts of things. Look, filling the gap. Let's rewind again. Not all safeties are able to do this, to be honest with you all. It's just the reality of it. Number 24 missed this tackle. The awareness. And if Saquon is able to make him miss, that's another 7 points. You got to understand that he comes down. He's a sure tackler. And it's a hitting, unnoticed commodity that we have out there. But you got to understand, this guy is doing his job. And it's very important for a safety to feel comfortable and knowing where he's at on the field. And understanding that if it gets past the first line of defense, the second line of defense, he's the last line of defense. And the reality of it, he flies up to the ball. He knows where he should be at on the defense. And he's the quote-unquote second leader on this defense. You can argue and say, well, the linebackers are the quarterbacks of the defense, but they are very valuable. And look, he sneaks out of this first level. How he find that small hole? Saquon finds that small little crease. And 85 is already engaged. 54, I think he's free a little. He's covering the backside. And watch how Woods come down the field. That's what you want. Of course, we want penetration on the front, but for him to be the only guy, the last line of defense, Saquon Barkley, if he's not able to stop him, man, There's nothing but greenery. That's touchdowns again, you see. So that's why it's so important. Now, what I do here is also we do an enemy watch, and we got to be mindful to study everybody that's in our division. And we'll see that this guy, number 17 for the Washington team, he's dangerous. He could take the top off the defense. They already got a nickname for him, Scary Terry. And he can find the small spots in the zone. You can see starting off, the Eagles respected his speed. Anytime you line this far off from your opponent, they'll let me know that regardless of scheme or what have you, he could have creeped up a little bit closer. He got a safety over the top, but you know it's a protection factor, and he's able to come down and crash. It was like a crazy play. But neither here nor there. This is what can get you burned. You lining up man-to-man pretty much, and he's going to play a boundary technique, meaning that he's going to secure the boundary and force the receiver into the inside. And we're going to let this play out, and I'll break it down a little further. And pretty much, number 17 goes untouched. Nobody touches him. Horrible. You don't do that. You got to have a safety over the top when you have somebody with that type of speed, and he's a nuanced route runner, and big games does not scare him. He's from Ohio State, and Scary Terry, you got to put that safety over the top regardless of how the scheme is looking. And if you're trying to stop the run, make the team one-dimensional, forces them to pass, you can't play that defense on this guy. He will rip you apart. And the Eagles learned the hard way. It's just that the Redskins abandoned the run, and a lot of things went into so many wrong areas for them. And the quarterback play was kind of mediocre role as well. So, I mean, this is this guy's first game ever, and you just don't play this style of defense. Now, let me show you what happened on this play as well. Now, this is the technique that you would want to flip your hips and put your backside towards the out of bounds on this play. But this play, he gives him the inside with, and he have over the top help in this category, and he turns his head the wrong way. Look, free release again, not a lot of physical contact. He turns the head to the opposite side. Remember, in a Richard's defense, he have his DBs to play the hand. So as soon as the hands goes up, they turn their body and head to the inside instead of turning all the way around, and the ball is already there. If this guy turns into the inside, it could be a pick. So the ball placement is there, of course, which is good, but the DB has no chance of getting this interception. It's all about technique, and you want the ball to be out of bounds, but it's a reception, and that's just how it goes from here. And this switch off is nasty because now you remove the over the top help again, and of course this guy could have been burnt again. Oh my goodness, the DB play for the Eagles. I know they won the game, but the scheme is still the same, and they have problems and issues with either the safety play or the DB, or is it just scheme schematically? Watch, the guy goes into motion, but he has no switch off responsibility, and he's pretty much just running wasteless yards, as we say. Number 10 goes into motion. This safety switches. He don't secure his spot anymore, and that's the craziest thing. One can say, well, the running back, his responsibility is the running back. No, the Mike got that. The Mike linebacker got that responsibility at that point. You switch back over at the top, and everything else supposed to be there. If the quarterback got all of the protection in the world, right? Quarterback should be able to reset his feet and hit this guy. This is zero excuse. If the quarterback is able to hit this guy here, number 17, OMG, it would have been over with. They would really put the nail in the coffin. But, he missed him by a mile, and the protection was there. Man, the defense was compromised. Number 20, I believe it's 21, it's just wasteless yards. Didn't do his responsibility. So there goes to show you that you got to be able as the safety, control this wide receiver. Make sure that you have over-the-top help, or if not, your front four got to get there. That's just the bottom line. The front four got to get there. And at the end of the game, after the Redskins abandoned the run, the Eagles were able to get into a more respectable defense for this wide receiver core. They played so far off, and they gave everything underneath for the Redskins and kind of confused them a little, and they were able to still be successful, giving underneath passes. And the lead was they was up by that time frame. But that goes to show you that you got to have a guy over the top, and the quarterback got to be able to make them pay to get them out of that defense. And the way you can make them pay would be to run the rock. This is every opportunity to go back into a running formation, especially you have your safeties playing so far back, and you only have a 5-man front now opposed to a 6 or a 7 or 8. They put that extra guy out of the box, and they were still able to cause the quarterback to not pass accurate balls and these sorts of things. So, I mean, there's ways that you can play against the Washington team, get them out of the running, mixed combination of running and passing, and make them one-dimensional. Flip the ball over to your side, over to your favor, and allow the quarterback to win the game. And I don't think that this quarterback, number 8, is able to just win the game purely off of his arm talent. Really want to know your thoughts altogether and your concerns about our defense and about the Washington team, or if you don't have any, just post your thoughts down below. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Salute. I'm out. Peace.